to SVG-TV News for Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. The Magistrates Court Virtual Evidence Bill 2025 was passed in Parliament on Monday evening with support from both sides of the House. The bill was presented by Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who also holds responsibility for national security. The legislation aims to modernize court proceedings by providing for the hearing of evidence by magistrates via technological means, including video and audio links. It permits the virtual presence of witnesses and parties involved in court proceedings, whether those individuals are located within or outside of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and addresses related or incidental matters necessary for its implementation. In presenting the bill, Prime Minister Gonsalves said it marks a significant step towards modernizing the judicial process in the country by establishing a comprehensive legal framework for the use of technology in the administration of justice.
As we all know, Madam Speaker, currently do not have jurisdiction to hear virtual evidence that falls outside the remit of the Witness Special Magistrates Act, Cap 183A of the laws of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Because unlike judges, they do not have inherent jurisdiction. As magistrates are creatures of statute, the bill empowers magistrates and judicial officers to receive evidence through various technological means, including video conferencing, audio links, and pre-recorded video evidence, thereby enhancing access to justice while maintaining the integrity of the judicial proceedings. The primary purpose of this bit of legislation, Madam Speaker, is to provide statutory authority for the virtual presence of witnesses in court proceedings, whether such witnesses are located within St. Vincent and the Grenadines or in foreign jurisdictions. This development addresses contemporary challenges in the administration of justice, including geographical barriers, witness availability, and the practical difficulties that may prevent witnesses from attending court in person.
The Prime Minister explained that currently some individuals believe they can evade justice by targeting tourists, assuming the case may be dropped if the victim leaves the country and fails to return for the hearing. Under the new law, virtual complainants will be able to give evidence from anywhere in the world, eliminating this loophole.
From Toronto, from Accra, Ghana, from Caracas, Miami, wherever. Then let's take women, mothers, have their children. They can't afford to go down to the magistrate courts. Not only the women, but men too. But they're busy at the office, busy in their home, looking after their own family and everything. They would be able to go on a laptop, Madam Speaker, if they have that facility, and give the evidence. So this is a practical bill. And given the pervasive nature of technology now, it is opportune. If you had brought this bill sometime before when it didn't have the kind of internet connections you have now, the availability of laptops, and so on and so forth, it would not have been as great a practical value as it is now.
Dr. Gonsalves also emphasized that the bill contains clear procedural safeguards to ensure that the use of technology does not compromise the fairness of the proceedings or prejudice any party involved.
It provides for comprehensive oversight by the court, including provisions for the rescission or variation of orders, and ensures that evidence given virtually carries the same weight and effect as evidence given in person. Madam Speaker, we are doing here now in the magistrate courts where we're going to do it civilly, criminally, what the High Court has been doing in many, many cases. The bill is structured in 4 distinct parts. Part 1 is preliminary, sections 1 to 2. This part contains the foundational provisions of the bill, establishing the short title, commencement, arrangements, and comprehensive definitions of some central terms in the bill, including court, live link, magistrate, technology, virtual presence, and witness. Part 2, powers of the magistrate to receive evidence by technology in sections 3 to 5. This part constitutes the substantive core of the legislation, conferring upon magistrates the general power to direct that evidence be given through technology. It establishes the conditions under which such powers may be exercised and sets out the factors that must be considered on making such determinations. Part 3, Procedure and Safeguards. In Section 6 to 13, this part provides detailed procedural requirements and safeguards, including application procedures, technical requirements, oath administration, contempt provisions, powers to rescind or vary orders, provisions for video recorded evidence, and cost allocation mechanisms. And Part 4, there are general provisions in sections 14 to 18. This part contains the general administrative and interpretive provisions, including rulemaking powers, vested, of course, in the Chief Justice, savings clauses to preserve existing judicial powers, and the scope of the application of the Act.
Dr. Gonzalez added that the law ensures all parties maintain their fundamental legal rights despite the virtual nature of the hearings. The legislation applies to all matters commenced both prior to and after its enactment, ensuring uniform applications across both the Magistrates Court and the Family Court established under the Family Court Act. Key provisions of the bill include applications for virtual evidence may be made by any party to the proceedings or may be initiated by the court itself. The virtual technology used must enable parties to hear, examine, and cross-examine witnesses as if they were physically present, thus preserving due process. The bill also allows for the use of pre-recorded video evidence in appropriate cases, particularly involving vulnerable witnesses or under exceptional circumstances. It includes safeguards such as mandatory notice periods and ensures that all parties are given an opportunity to be heard before any orders related to virtual proceedings are made. The bill is expected to enhance access to justice, improve judicial efficiency, and better accommodate the realities of an increasingly mobile and digitized world. Meanwhile, the opposition Senator Israel Bruce has raised several questions regarding the Magistrates Court Virtual Evidence Bill 2025 during his contribution to the parliamentary debate on Monday. While acknowledging that the bill is straightforward, he sought clarification of how evidence from outside the jurisdiction of St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be received, an issue he said he had raised on previous occasions.
And I'm going to go straight to part 3, section 10 of the bill, which deals with contempt of court. Because for me, it has been an issue and or a principle that has to be grappled with. Now, if you are outside of the jurisdiction of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Madam Speaker, honorable members, the court in St. Vincent and the Grenadines has the jurisdiction over you. So that a person who is sitting in his or her living room in Hamburg, Germany, or in Ottawa, Canada, or in High Wycombe in the United Kingdom, if that person, let's say that person is being examined in chief, that's a process whereby the Crown, which leads the case in a criminal matter, is asking questions to get you to say to the court what had happened in the matter that is before the court. If that person chooses or refuses to answer a question or to follow the instruction of the magistrate, it might appear that in that case it may be more straightforward because it's your case, and if you're refusing to cooperate with the prosecution and the court in the regard, then the court may very well decide, look, that's how you want to conduct yourself, and the magistrate is empowered through this bill to rescind the order. But that rescinding of the order based on what is outlined in this particular legislation, of course, naturally would require both sides to engage.
Senator Bruce, who is also a practicing attorney, said he also seeks clarity on how the bill addresses contempt of court in virtual settings, especially when individuals appear remotely and may potentially disrupt or disregard the court process.
Let's move it from the examination in chief to the cross-examination, because very often you'd find that that is where witnesses become a little more contentious, a little more evasive, a little more non-responsive, a little more attitudinal. And so that if a question is asked under cross-examination and the witness decides, I don't want to answer that question by a defense attorney, and the court says, you have to answer the question, and the witness decides, court, you can say what you feel like. I'm not answering it. You can't make me. You are in St. Vincent. I'm here in Ottawa, Canada. You can't make me answer. Now, I spoke to the rescinding of the order, which is one way to deal with it, but clearly it is contempt of court. The question that begs is, does the magistrate, who is a creature of statute, rightly put, would that magistrate have authority to have or to lay the groundwork for contempt proceedings to be brought against that person, even if that person is entirely contemptuous of court? And so that is one of the concerns that I've always raised, the extraterritoriality principle. How do we enforce contempt as an issue in our court in situations and circumstances like that?
On the matter of conditions for the exercise of the court's power, which allows the magistrate to order that evidence be given to by technological means if certain criteria are met, Bruce emphasized that reliable technology is essential. He said that the system must function properly to ensure the fairness and integrity of the proceedings. And Government Senator Shaquille Bob, who also contributed to the debate, offered support for the bill, noting that the issue of virtual evidence came into sharp focus during the COVID-19 pandemic. She described the pandemic as a catalyst for change that exposed gaps in the courtroom system and highlighted the urgent need for reform. Senator Bob, an attorney at law, said the bill is a step forward in ensuring efficiency and accessibility in the justice system, and it reflects the lessons learned during the pandemic.
It is a crucial step in modernization of our judicial system. So this introduction would allow for audio link evidence via live link, via Zoom, Teams, Skype, although a lot of us don't use Skype anymore, Madam Speaker, and for pre-recorded evidence. Madam Speaker, it defines, well, it is not a new phenomenon here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Like the Honorable Prime Minister said, that the High Court would have been receiving evidence via live link in the past, and there are many cases where I would have been, sitting in a courtroom and saw video link evidence being produced, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, what was there before, what existed before was the Witness Special Measures Act, and that heavily focused more so on witness anonymity legislation. And then there was a small piece which focused on, special measures for vulnerable witnesses. But, Madam Speaker, it is important to note that the Special Measures Act only applied to criminal proceedings, Madam Speaker, and the bill on the table would apply to both civil and criminal trials in the magistrate court.
In other local news now, we hear that the community of Oya is in a somber mood following a shooting incident off the course in the waters near Rock Gutter on Sunday. 2 men are unaccounted for. Whitfield Biggest Williams, a fisherman and boat captain of Oya, and Dominic Neverson of Chateaubelair. Search efforts continue by the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Coast Guard alongside concerned residents. Relatives of Williams say they have come to terms with the likelihood that he is no longer alive. However, they continue to hope his body will be recovered and are calling for justice to be served. Larissa Pugs the Kid tells us more in this report.
Still missing at sea have been identified as Dominic Neverson, a resident of Chateaubelair, and Whitfield Biggest Williams, a well-known boat captain from Oya. Reports indicate that Williams' boat came under gunfire from individuals aboard another vessel while in the waters off Oya. This is where the boat captain, Whitfield Biggest Williams, embarked on Sunday, July 27th. Family members said he left home just after 1 p.m. that day. Family members said he left home that afternoon after accepting a last-minute job transporting a man who was later shot and injured, but survived and is currently hospitalized.
My sister told me if they be done, come and tell she that he go to many captain and they reject him. And he meet my brother half guard and bribe him and tell him to go with him and he carry the guy. But he wasn't know he going to get his dead.
Because the guy come and check my brother the Saturday for GPS. Monday, 8 o'clock, check my brother again. Then my brother girlfriend tell him like this, don't come in here with no bad jumpy. So she end up and tell him, go out of the yard. So I join my sister and cuss him. Then she end up now and say, go out of the yard. Then he said he going to check my brother. So come as he not get you with my brother, he get you with my uncle.
Family members shared that the rescued survivor told them that he does not believe the captain survived the attack.
I come up now, my sister tell me that the guy said that he got the first shot in his chest. Then he tell the police them that he had a shot in his back. And when he got the shot, he pitched over. And he was in the water swimming. And the Lucian and them, he said the Lucian them just going to finish him in the water. They take his boat, carry it in St. Lucia. We had a call yesterday and they said the boat is in St. Lucia and the engine is off. So whosoever planned this thing for my brother, we only just have to pray for God to ask him to guide us and protect us from the enemies of them who trying to destroy anymore in my family. We had to ask God for it, but he's not going to work anymore.
A cousin of Captain Williams, who had returned from fishing with him earlier that same day, said he is still in shock over what happened.
No, he was really close. Because he used to fish in the same boat. Because the same evening we just come from fishing. And then they get out, go back out, and that is it. For me, I feel like kind of how, trust me. Because I can't understand how somebody just do the life just so.
William's sister expressed deep sorrow, especially for his 10-year-old twin children, who are now left without their father, and for their grieving mother.
We had to thinking about. We are feeling the pain because mother is not working. Who is there now is we are today. I'm not working. But I will try my best to fight all how to see they get something to eat before they to go and sleep. If I have to suffer to see them children here make it in life. And those are the two children right now we have to thinking about. It's really hard.
The SVG Coast Guard continues its search and patrol operations off the North Windward Coast, supported by local fishermen and community volunteers. Fellow fishermen say they are determined to recover the captain's body, emphasizing that he deserves a proper send-off.
The search still going on. I get a brother in my, he said he's going to back me about after 12 and make a search. But the thing take place, yeah. So we go like if we find the body. Yeah. We got the body now, that will be real good.
That man, when he come from fishing, full body they by the wharf, everybody getting a fish. Yeah. We used to link together. All we used to link together, we cook here. We just cook.
Meanwhile, relatives of Dominic Neverson, the second man still missing, say he was not living in St. Vincent at the time and was reportedly hitching a ride home on the boat. Tragically, he never made it back. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley-Kidd.
We hear that Minister of Health, Wellness and the Environment, Sinclair Jimmy Prince, announced in Parliament on Monday that his ministry, in collaboration with the Ministry of National Mobilization, is introducing a new transportation initiative aimed at erasing the travel burden for dialysis patients, persons with disabilities, and elderly citizens. The announcement came in response to a question posed by opposition leader Dr. Godwin Friday, who raised concerns about the challenges faced by kidney patients traveling to receive dialysis treatment at the modern medical Medical and Diagnostic Center in Georgetown. Dr. Friday noted that many patients, particularly those from the leeward side of the island and the Grenadines, face significant physical and financial hardships traveling long distances to Georgetown. He asked whether the minister would consider implementing a shuttle service or similar transportation solution from Kingston to make treatment more accessible and affordable. In his response, Minister Prince acknowledged the importance of the concern, noted that St. Vincent and the Grenadines has made significant progress in improving access to dialysis treatment. He recalled that in the past, Vincentians had to travel abroad for dialysis, a costly and inconvenient process that the government addressed by establishing local services. He highlighted that the Georgetown Dialysis Unit was first introduced at a highly subsidized rate, and later all charges for the service were removed entirely. Minister Prince told Parliament the issue raised by the opposition leader touches on a deeply human matter, one that sits at the intersection of healthcare, mobility, and social equity.
When citizens, particularly those battling chronic illnesses such as kidney disease, are forced to endure physical and financial hardship simply to access life-saving treatment, it compels us as policymakers and public servants to act with urgency and empathy. And we have been doing that. Madam Speaker, the government recognizes the difficulties faced by dialysis patients traveling from the leeward areas and the Grenadines to the medical center in Georgetown. These journeys are not only long, but very, very expensive, especially for patients who require treatment multiple times per week. And not just from Leeward and the Grenadines, but also throughout the country. Because in my own constituency, we have more than 5 people accessing this, and it is very difficult for them. I understand that completely. The Ministry of Health initiated a collaborative effort between ourselves and the Ministry of National Mobilization to deal with this problem. As the Honourable House is aware, the Ministry of National Mobilization, Social Development, Family, Gender Affairs, and Persons with Disabilities holds national responsibility for ensuring social protection for vulnerable groups, including persons with disabilities and the elderly. Based on 2022 media estimates, approximately 10,140 persons aged 65 and over, and from other records, 2,500 persons are living with disabilities and they reside across St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Many among those populations face significant challenges in accessing transportation for routine and critical medical care. So not just people who do hemodialysis, but also other persons have to access this care. And while we put a lot of emphasis on primary health care, where we know we have, of course, within 10 minutes of homes, we have a facility, a health facility, there is still a problem of transportation.
We apologize for the technical difficulty being experienced. And as part of efforts to further reduce the burden on vulnerable groups, he announced that the Ministry of National Mobilization has taken a major step toward launching a new transport initiative. The program called MOVE, Mobile Vincentian Empowerment Service, was approved under the 2025 national budget and is designed to provide dedicated transportation services for dialysis patients, the elderly, and persons with disabilities.
MOVE is, as I said, Mobile Vincentian Empowerment Service. This program aims to provide safe, dignified, and cost-free transportation for persons with disabilities, and importantly, will also serve select elderly individuals who experience mobility or accessibility challenges. Madam Speaker, the Ministry will officially launch this service during the month of August 2025, pending an approval date by Cabinet. And Cabinet preliminarily has already given the green light for this kind of service. While the MOVE program is currently focused on persons with disabilities and elderly persons with transport challenges, the government is fully cognizant of the hardships faced by dialysis patients, particularly those traveling from outer regions to Georgetown. In that regard, the Ministry of National Mobilization, Social Development, etc., has already initiated internal discussions exploring how the MOVE service might be extended to this critical group as well as others. And these discussions include the issuance of boat passes to reduce the cost of inter-island travel for patients from the Grenadines, and consideration for the inclusion in the MOVE program transport system to facilitate the journey from Kingston to Georgetown. Madam Speaker, the Ministry of National Mobilization intends to continue to engage in formal discussions with the Ministry of Health to ensure that any proposed solution aligns, and this is important, Madam Speaker, with the scheduling and operational demands of the dialysis and other services offered through my ministry, the Ministry of Health. The goal, Madam Speaker, is to create a comprehensive, inclusive transport solution that eases the burden on our most vulnerable citizens and affirms their right to dignified, accessible health care. Madam Speaker, while the Ministry of National Mobilization will explore viable transportation solutions specifically for dialysis patients and other vulnerable groups, it is important to note that they are already actively fulfilling their mandate to support these individuals through the provision of in-kind assistance and grants. And for a number of years, they have been doing that.
The MOVE program is expected to benefit thousands of Vincentians across the country, improving access to essential health care and ensuring that transportation is no longer a barrier to treatment and support services. Young participants from the Philly Empowerment Centers International, Inc. Took to the streets in a spirited march and rally aimed at raising awareness about youth crime prevention with handmade posters held high in chants of "From Rails to Radiance, we rise together." The event served as a powerful display of unity, advocacy, and hope. The march was part of the organization's Youth Against Crime 10 Days of Action initiative, which began last Monday under the theme Rails to Radiance. The program is designed to create positive pathways for youth while addressing the root causes of crime, such as conflict, peer pressure, and lack of opportunities. During the rally, several youths shared their experiences, describing the initiative as eye-opening and impactful. Participants also offered advice to their peers, encouraging other young people to get involved in similar programs, learn conflict resolution skills, and serve as positive role models in their communities.
Well, my experience of the program, let's see. It was quite nice. It's been a while since I've done a summer program. So this was really a breath of fresh air, I would say.
My experience was good. I got to learn different people. I got to socialize. I got to learn a lot of new stuff, like ideas how to control my emotions. You must not follow the bad people and always be a follower. Always be a leader, not a follower. Because if you follow people, they could leave you astray or leave you in bad places.
My experience here was interesting. I met a lot of new people, and it was encouraging for me. It helped me how to express myself better, how to react in certain situations.
I liked how you bring other people to teach us about emotions, human trafficking, and the stuff that we didn't learn in school some. And I appreciate it.
I had a great experience at the youth program, and it was nice. I learned plenty stuff at it, and I learned how to control conflict and all that. I'm done. Thanks.
The Philly Empowerment Centers International, Inc., known for its youth mentorship and community outreach efforts, continues to advocate on proactive and youth-led solutions to social issues. The Race to Radiance campaign is one of several annual initiatives aimed at transforming young lives through empowerment, education, and engagement. 5 students who excelled in the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment CPEA have been awarded scholarships by the St. Vincent and Grenadines Teachers Cooperative Credit Union, the SVG-TCCU. The recipients are Blossom McCollum, Amara Stowe, Kalik Peters, Kadisha Trumpet, and Leah Charles Scott. These students will receive bursaries to support their secondary school education as well as financial assistance for college tuition in the future. Speaking at the award ceremony held earlier today, Education Officer Karen Borgin expressed the Ministry of Education's appreciation for the continued partnership with the credit union.
We live in a time where the price you pay for something today will not necessarily be the price you pay for the identical thing tomorrow. There was a time when $200 could purchase all your school textbooks. Today, you may only get 2 or 3 for that money. Students, through your hard work and dedication, You have excelled in your primary school exit examinations, and you have been selected to receive one of these scholarships that will assist with your financial commitments throughout secondary school and community college.
President of the SVG-TCCU Board of Directors, Nathaniel Williams, noted that the credit union remains committed to supporting a wide range of educational initiatives, including scholarships that help develop well-rounded and socially responsible students.
We take personal interest in their well-being and in their growth, both educationally and in their social and cultural life. Our theme for this year at the AGM, Building Community, Securing a Future, really speaks broadly and deeply to the motto of the credit union, built by Teachers for All Vincentians, where we assist our children, their parents, their families, their schools, and let me not forget to mention, it's good to have children as young ambassadors of this credit union. We have a program where we have junior savers. We have now changed it into one simple group where we encourage our children, even as they do well in school, to begin to be thrifty, to begin to show a level of professionalism in their early lives, which demonstrate what Teachers Credit Union stands for.
Corin Glasgow, former scholarship recipient and the featured speaker at the event, encouraged the awardees to make full use of the opportunities provided.
It's important to realize that you will also be inspiring others with your actions, that your journey isn't just for you. Whether you realize it or not, someone is watching you. A sibling, a neighbor, a younger student, someone. And by chasing your goals, by pushing through your challenges, by refusing not to settle, you're giving them permission to believe in their own goals and their own dreams as well. And this effect is what will create a ripple effect throughout our community. This is how one opportunity, like this scholarship, becomes a movement.